All right, here we go. We are back. This is the Enumclaw Criterium presented by Apex Racing. It's a new criterium. There's been criteriums out here in Enumclaw before, but not for a while. So it's great to have a new event on the calendar. The course you can see in the upper right-hand corner, and it was a very flat course, so no hills, nothing like that. But it was fun. It was a fast course, but it was interesting enough in terms of just the turns that we had to take, and there was a little bit of a headwind. Um, I'll mention that when we get to that section. But again, super fun course. Everybody was super active in the race. There were lots of attacks going off throughout, so it definitely kept you on your toes. Probably one of the more fun criteriums I've done in a while. So good job by Apex on this. They even had a little beer garden. The announcer was great. He was chatting it up throughout all the different races and interviewing people. So yeah, it felt like it was a really well put on event. Hopefully, if they do this again next year, they can get bigger participation. All right, so coming into this section right here, there is a bit of a headwind, and we're going into the final turn before the sprint, and also there's a headwind there. So, yep, we had a headwind coming into the final sprint. All right, so that is basically, we're coming up on one full lap right now. Yep. And what I thought I'd do today is kind of talk about the field. You see a lot of these guys in my races, but I don't think I've really kind of talked about them too much. So I kind of want to just highlight some people. And if you look right in front of me right now on the yellow bike, that is Jerry Costa. He is a Cat 3, but he's well on his way to being a Cat 2. He actually just won the overall for the 50 plus category 3, 4, 5 at the Tour de Bloom. I think he actually took 2 stages and the overall. So he is a very fast sprinter, doing really good this year. He's always been fast, but that Tour de Bloom win was huge because that's a very competitive field with a lot of people in it. In addition to Jerry, we have, I'll kind of just start naming off some people and I'll point them out as they come into view. But we've got Andrew Martin racing in here. Andrew is in the white kit. That's the Washington State Criterium Championship. So he won the 35 plus Masters Criterium last year. We have not yet had the 2026 state championships, so he is still the current 35 plus Masters Crit champion. He is now race age 50 as of this year, so he's been doing the 50 plus races, which is definitely not good for the rest of us. In addition to being the state criterium champion, he is also, as of last year, a 2-time national track champion, Masters 45 to 49. He won the points race and the elimination race last year. So national champion 2-time. And he is on 10 Speed Hero. 10 Speed Hero is a Masters racing team here. It's a pretty small team, but they are probably the best organized team in terms of tactics in the Masters racing up here in Washington. Everybody knows what they're doing. They're all really good racers, and they're all really strong. Also on 10 Speed Hero is Mike Robson, and Mike Robson is the Washington State Road Race Champion for 50 plus for 2026. So he won that earlier this year. So you've got the State Criterium Champion for 35 plus. You've got the Road Race Champion for 50 plus, both on 10 Speed Hero. And I'll point them out when I see them. In addition to those guys, we've got Steve Sondheim, and he is on Cascadia cycling. It used to be called Expeditors, but now they're Cascadia. He is a 60 plus racer. He's Cat 1, and he has just been on fire recently. Last year, he won one of the stages at the Everett Performance Omnium, and then he went out to Chicago Crit, and he just destroyed the fields out there. I think he won 5 of the races in the 60-plus fields last year out of Chicago Grit. And he is doing back-to-back races here. He just finished the 60-plus race just right before this one, which he won handily, and he had quite a big gap on the field towards the end there. Right in front of me right now on Keller Rohrbach, you can see Doug Carlton. He is a super strong rider. I don't know as much about his history, but he's always very strong. He's definitely good for a late attack. Um, he's won several races or placed very high in several races I've been in by doing these strong late attacks. So definitely somebody you want to watch. Right there is Mike Robson to my left there in the blue striped kit. On the right, we just passed Doug Davis on Hoggins Berman, and he is a former teammate. I used to be on that team last year, but I'm riding unattached this year. Doug is always super strong. He came in second overall out at Pacific Raceways series racing last year. He is a good sprinter, but he also can make a breakaway stick. So yeah, he's somebody that's super strong as well. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit through the next couple laps, and then we'll pick up the commentary in a bit. All right, I just wanted to point out my friend AC Roth. He is also on Hoggins Berman, and we are just pulling him back. He had been out there on a little bit of a break for about a lap or half a lap. AC is a 60-plus racer, and he also was just doing back-to-back races. In that first race, he ended up fourth, but he spent so much time off the front in breaks, solo breaks. I was warming up, but every time I looked, he was basically off the front. So he definitely made it hard for the 60-plus, and he still had enough left to come in fourth in the final sprint and join the 50-plus field. He was very active in this race as well, but ultimately he had a mechanical, so he ended up having to drop out. So that is too bad, because I know he's racing really well right now. right, we are just bringing back Doug Davis, who has been off the front for about a lap, right there on the right-hand side. And I think it looked to me like Andrew Martin was doing a lot of the chasing. He's on the front in the white right there. So I thought, well, this might be a good opportunity for me to go make a go of it and see if anybody else will join me. So I end up breaking away here. Unfortunately, nobody went with me, so this is just a solo attempt that this early in the race is probably ill-fated, but I always like to get a good effort in the middle of the race in just to get the legs moving. So here we go. we're getting down to the end of the race, and Doug Carlton makes an attack up the front. He's marked by Andrew Martin from 10 Speed Hero, and I was a little concerned about this move because I know Doug is super strong again on the breakaways, and and Andrew is strong all around. But luckily for us, it looked like Andrew was not interested in a breakaway and just sat on and didn't help um, keep them away. So ultimately, we are going to end up bringing them back. All right, it's looking good for a field sprint. We're all back together, and I think we've got just about 4 laps to go. So I'm feeling pretty good about my chances at this point. All right, and it is now a preem lap with 4 laps to go. I think up at the front, Nate Hawken makes a move, and I see Andrew and Mike from 10 Speed Hero following him. Nate is very good at breakaways, and so these late race moves are pretty dangerous if he's in them. But at this point, I feel like everybody responded pretty well, and I'm not too concerned. They don't have that much of a gap right at the moment. A little bit of foreshadowing. I probably should have been more concerned and made more of an effort to get up front. So we're coming across the line, and I believe Mike Robson got the preem, and Nate's behind him, and everybody kind of sits up a little bit. They really don't have much of a gap, but you can see him turning the corner there. But the thing is, Andrew's on the front, and Andrew kind of lets off the wheel and nobody follows. So Mike and Nate get a bit of a gap there. Unfortunately, I think this is the lap where my friend gets cut off right here. And Joe Skokin got forced into the curb by the guy in the black and unfortunately crashed out. Thankfully, he is okay. Looks like he had nowhere to go there. The guy in the black just moved over to the left and left him no space. Anyway, back to the chase here. They are slowly gaining a little bit of ground, and that is a dangerous move. Mike and Nate up the road together is going to be hard to stop. There's not a lot of people that are interested in trying to chase it down because they know if they do chase it down and spend all their energy that Andrew's just going to sprint right past them. Although at this point, I really didn't feel like we were racing for third. I thought there was a good chance, given how fast this course was, that we could catch them and it could come down to a field sprint. So I see Doug Carlson going on the left there, which is a good thing. Again, made me think that we had a chance of pulling them back before the final. And now we're on to the bell lap. I think we've got Mike Rogers and Andrew Martin from 10 Speed Hero on the front, so that means they're not going to be chasing their own teammate down. I'm in an okay position right now because it's a small field and the roads are wide, but I feel like I need to move up a little bit. All the main sprinters are right up here. You've got Andrew, Steve, Doug, and Jerry. I'm able to slot in on Doug's wheel, but unfortunately, he kind of drops the wheel and leaves a little gap there. I tell Doug, come on. He doesn't have it, so I have to kind of try to make up that gap. And at this point, uh, you really need to be kind of first into that corner for the sprint. So I do what I can, but I end up coming in fifth place. Mike Robson won, Andrew Martin got second, Steve Sondheim third, Nate got fourth, and I ended up fifth. Super fun race though.